Earlier this year, it was finally starting to feel like commercial real estate was recovering after almost 4 years at this point of a lot of market uncertainty. In the first quarter of 2026, investment volume in the US rose by almost 20% year over year. Major brokerage firms saw huge increases in net income, and even office leasing activity hit the highest levels we've seen since 2018. But less than 2 months into the second quarter of the year, and some of these trends are already turning around with a material rise in interest rates and a material drop in transaction volume, making a lot of investors question if we've taken a step back. So in this video, we'll break down what's happening in the commercial real estate industry today, why things have changed so quickly in the market, and what this could mean for both investors and industry professionals throughout the rest of this year. So by almost every measure, the first quarter of 2026 was one of the strongest quarters this industry has seen since before the Fed started raising rates back in 2022. According to CBRE, commercial real estate investment volume increased by 19% year over year in Q1, up to $117 billion for the quarter, with industrial sales volume rising by 23%, office sales volume rising by 34%, and hotel sales volume rising by 64% year over year. And while investment sales activity increased nationally in Q1, Charlotte, San Francisco, Atlanta, and Washington, D.C. all saw even higher year-over-year investment sales growth, with each of these markets seeing increases of more than 65% over Q1 2025 numbers. CBRE also reported that their lending momentum index rose to the highest level we've seen since 2021, and according to Newmark, loan origination volume in the US was also up by 29% year over year in Q1. We also saw a huge spike in tenant demand in the first quarter, specifically for office space, with a 25% year-over-year increase in new office leases, representing more than 120 million square feet of total leasable area. In the first quarter of 2026, almost half of the largest U.S. office markets came within 10% of their pre-2020 leasing averages, with New York, Charlotte, Miami, and San Francisco all coming in above these numbers. And with investment sales activity trending in an upward direction and a spike in leasing activity for the property type that's seen the biggest drop in demand of any commercial asset class over the last few years, at the end of March, all signs were pointing to commercial real estate finally starting to find its footing. But in April of this year, things very quickly started to take a turn for the worse, with transaction activity and interest rates both heading in the wrong direction. According to MSCI's monthly U.S. Capital Trends report, total commercial real estate sales volume came in at $24.7 billion in April, which was down 33% from Q1 of 2025, with hotel sales volume dropping by 35% and apartment sales volume dropping by 50% from the first quarter of last year. Pricing for commercial properties also saw some headwinds in April, with average cap rates across all property types hitting 6.6% last month, with office cap rates rising by 8 basis points to 7.4% and retail cap rates rising by 13 basis points to 7.05%. And on top of these things, earlier this month, the 10-year U.S. Treasury yield jumped to 4.6%, which was a 40 basis point increase from the 10-year yield we saw back in mid-April, and yields for 30-year U.S. Treasuries hit 5.2%, which was the highest rate we've seen since just before the Great Financial Crisis. And while many investors were banking on interest rates falling this year with the promise of a new Fed chair and cooling inflation, the continued conflict in the Middle East and some less than ideal CPI reports coming out recently have both resulted in traders now pricing in a 70% chance of a 25 basis point interest rate hike at some point within the next 6 months. And this interest rate increase would happen at a time when we already have over $130 billion of securitized commercial real estate loans that are past their maturity date and still outstanding, with more than 26% of these loans currently being delinquent. The CMBS delinquency rate in the US overall across all property types hit 7.55% in March, which was up 41 basis points from February and up 90 basis points from the delinquency rate we saw back in March of 2025. And while delinquency rates on office CMBS loans specifically are having a big impact on these numbers, with office delinquency rates reaching an all-time high of 12.34% in January of this year, multifamily CMBS loans have also run into trouble recently, with delinquency rates rising by 56 basis points from March to April and rising by 114 basis points year over year. And according to Newmark, 15% of outstanding securitized commercial real estate debt maturing before 2028 is currently projected to be underwater, and an additional 11% of these loans are expected to require additional equity contributions just to pay off the existing loan balance if they were to be refinanced. And with interest rates on fixed rate commercial real estate loans being heavily dependent on US Treasury yields and interest rates on floating rate loans being heavily dependent on short-term borrowing rates, additional interest rate hikes from here could result in even higher levels of distress throughout the entire industry. Now, even though these things are less than ideal, there are still a lot of things to be hopeful about right now when it comes to the fundamentals of commercial real estate and even the cost of capital. Although we saw a drop in investment sales volume last month, investment sales activity has been steadily increasing since the start of 2023, and we still have 2 more full months in the quarter to turn things around. And while the CPI increases we've seen lately are higher than investors would like, a primary driver of these increases has been the rise in energy prices we've seen since the start of the war in Iran, which could be ending soon if peace talks move forward. And if a peace deal is reached and energy prices fall, we could see much lower CPI prints throughout the rest of this year, and as a result of that, a lower likelihood of another rate hike. It's also important to remember that whenever we see any sort of volatility in the capital markets or major global conflict in general, commercial real estate investors tend to be very quick to hit the pause button on new investment opportunities, which could also be contributing to the sudden drop in transaction volume we saw from March to April of this year. And even though we do have a lot of outstanding debt that could be difficult for investors to pay off, this could also lead to investment sales activity continuing to pick up across the board, with fears of even higher interest rates going forward, resulting in more properties coming to the market sooner rather than later. I would also say that the increase in demand for office product right now is a really encouraging sign from a fundamentals perspective, especially with the new construction pipeline for virtually all major property types today falling well below historical averages. And for people looking to break into this industry, the good news here is that even if interest rates do continue to rise and distressed sales also increase, an uptick in transaction volume often leads to increased company revenues and in many cases additional job opportunities, especially at the analyst and the associate levels. And if you're watching this right now and you are trying to land a job in commercial real estate and you want to make sure you have the skills you'll need to land interviews and pass an Excel modeling exam that might be given to you at top commercial real estate firms, make sure to check out our all-in-one membership training platform, Breaking a CRE Academy. A membership to the Academy will give you instant access to over 120 hours of video training on real estate financial modeling and analysis. You'll get access to hundreds of practice Excel interview exam questions, sample acquisition case studies, and you'll also get access to the Breaking a CRE Analyst Certification exam, which covers topics like real estate acquisition and development modeling, commercial real estate lease modeling, equity waterfall modeling, and many other real estate financial analysis concepts that will help you prove to employers that you have what it takes to tackle the responsibilities of an analyst or associate at a top real estate firm. If you like this video and want to see more content on the channel on current market events, make sure to hit the like button and let me know. And let me know in the comments what your take is on the industry right now and whether you think things will get worse or better throughout the rest of this year. As always, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to see more videos like this every single week, and I'll see you in the next video.